I joined the Tata Institute in the year 1947, and I'm the first batch for 2.5 years training course. And we were always very busy, overloaded with work. We were grumbling, but we were dancing also together.
I used to live in the Tata Institute, sleep on library tables and other places.
You needed something and you went to the library, and the whole library would be looking. All the peons and everybody would be looking for whatever you were looking for.
We used to go for tea to the restaurant Rolex. Rolex restaurant was a headquarter of all the students.
It was really quite living out in the country. It wasn't like living in a city. The atmosphere was so romantic. It was hard not to be romantic on the campus.
And we were surprised to learn that Raj Kapoor's residence was just behind the dining hall of our institute.
Nargis used to come for a walk there. So we students will come to my room and they will observe whether she will look at us or not.
I took part in the Institute Day celebrations where I remember I won the first prize along with my colleague in fancy dress.
I used to perform classical dance professionally, so that was one image I also had in the institute because I was performing on Institute Day.
जब बम्बई में आया तो टाटा में नौकरी है तो यहाँ ही नौकरी पूरा किया और दूसरी तरफ किधर नौकरी किया नहीं. सब लोग मेरे को अब्बा अब्बा ही बोलते इधर. सब छोटे अपने बच्चे थे पहले इधर, सब अब्बा बोलते थे तो सभी अब्बा 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 बोलते.
कॉन्फ्रेंस हॉल में बोलो कौन सा मीटिंग होगा, उस टाइम पे मेरी ज़रूरत पड़ने की ज़्यादा फ्लावर पॉट भरने के लिए. अभी तो क्या दुकान से लाते हुए गए, वह उस टाइम पे नहीं.
मुझे गर्व के साथ इतना बोलता कि मैंने काफ़ी रिकॉर्ड भी किए टाटा इंस्टीट्यूट में कि 1978 से अभी तक यानी कि 2012 तक मैंने जितने पास आउट हुए हैं स्टूडेंट्स उनके हर सर्टिफिकेट के ऊपर मेरी कैलीग्राफी है.
We would shout, scream, yell, quarrel, fight, but we never took the institute differences to the badminton court.
Of course, we used to have the institute bus coming and picking us up from Plaza, and if we missed it, we missed it. Everything that you don't get to hear on campus, some of it you got to hear on the bus.
Suddenly at 8:45, having food in the DH, and they would say, "Come, let's go and see a movie." So 30 of us would go to Basant Talkies, and
We also used to get room service. Whenever if we get late in the morning, our Daya Bhai and Jamal Bhai used to provide us breakfast in the room.
And I was sharing a room with a guy called Umakant Jadaf. Now here we are sleeping. Then when I'm asleep, this guy wakes up very early in the morning. Then he's just playing music, Hari Kaisari Janabuka, something like that.
Then mad cooking sessions in the hostel, which were not, I think, technically allowed, and it would take hours on that hot plate, and all the madness of trying to bring a little bit from the dining hall, a little bit from the staff quarters, and actually cooking some of it yourself.
We would await those parties that would happen in the dining hall. The dining hall would sort of magically transform into almost a discotheque with lights and,
the rule that I loved most about this was that you had to get out by 11 and you could come back when you wanted, at least. I mean, I didn't ever understand the point of that rule, but I just thought it worked for us. It was fantastic.
Matthew used to catch students jumping over the wall, you know, but she was always there. That's the funny thing. I don't know how she did it.
So we were warned by our seniors, and in turn we informed our juniors. When Murthy is leaving the institute, just vanish, because he'll warmly invite you to come and take a lift with him, and you'll find yourself pushing his car.
To Miss Tata Institute was at the other station, and it was really difficult for me to reach in time. And Dr. Gorage used to be first period, you see. So I was always late for his class.
He used to let you take class and disagree with him quite happily. And he would have this little smile on his face when you showed resistance, or you didn't agree, or you argued with him. He would let you argue.
Professor Panakal, who was such a lover of trees, used to really look after the trees, and any exotic, unusual trees he used to, wherever he went, he would bring them here.
With Dr. Harmiti Desai, she was also a person who loves everyone. She will be looking around and even stop and talk to you, even whoever come on her way, and even ask their well-being, and also sometimes even shout at them. That also happened.
Professor Grace Matthews' dedication, commitment to social work, both as a profession as well as an educator, is something that I think for me is a role model.
Professor Apte has a much larger vision of society, world. So she gave you a lot from that end.
Suma Chitnis was one who always believed that it's important to bring young people who come with new ideas. So even if I went to her hesitantly with some idea, she used to just tell me, don't worry about anything, just think, you know. Very non-hierarchical person.
Dr. Mehta was never prepared with his lectures. He would come, he would speak, and he would give the best lecture.
There were we with our notebooks and our pens ready to take down the golden words, and he said, the end of social work is to end social work. I thought, wow, ये तो बहुत अच्छी चीज़ है.
If somebody asked me the question, if you were to live your life all over again, what would you like to be? I would still say that I would like to be a teacher.
What we learned in those 2.5 years, I don't think in 2.5 lives I can learn that.
It hardened all of us, and we could live under these circumstances.
Those 2 years of being a student here, I'll never forget. They were really, I think, very molding years also.
grateful for what I got from here, and like, thank God I did this. You know, thank God I had the opportunity to learn in a certain fashion, because that has stayed with me. It will stay with me for life.
What it has done to me as a person, probably not always a very nice person, is to examine the assumptions beneath which a lot of our life is conducted.
Tata Institute has been a joy for me, you see, that, and it has kept me very young, that I was in the company of young students.
There was an emotional connect beyond just the political, ideological discussions.
I see it as a space that really can very actively create an atmosphere where people interact, engage, and learn from friction of ideas, and not a one-sided top-bottom approach of idea giving.
TISS continues to be an open-ended, flexible space that is critical of itself, that allows diversity, and that allows for both individual and collective development.
TISS is no longer just a school of social work. TISS is a school of learning. It's a place of learning. It's a place where different ideas can come together and people can learn from each other.
TISS is very different actually. I think I sometimes feel very lonely when I sit in meetings with the other heads of institutions, that the language we speak and what we stand for is very different.
Tata Institute has a great future, and it has a great future because it has a very strong base.